Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Instagram. I am so sorry. I have no clue at all what happened earlier. But anyway, we actually had started Instagram and it had poor connection, but we don't know why. But anyway, I'm doing it again. All right. So I didn't keep people on Facebook real long, but I won't keep you guys that long today. So sorry about it cutting in and out on that. But anyway, let's try this again. So I'm happy that you guys are here today on this beautiful Monday morning on Instagram Live. And we're discussing Is Food Spiritual, my brand new book, The Vibration of the Foods We Eat. And one of the things I said earlier, welcome back. Yeah, definitely I'm back, finally. So, Instagram has been acting up really bad this morning. We have no clue why. But the Facebook Identity Network page, the new page, it went. And so we got that recorded, and that's already downloaded on there, so you guys can watch it on there as well. But I will reiterate what I said to you guys now. So, my new book for the August is Food Spiritual, all right, The Vibration of the Foods We Eat. And the reason why I called it that and named it that is because so many people have been approaching me for so long about dieting, and they really did not know exactly what to do because they've said, we've tried keto diet, we've tried all this diets. And I said, well, that's one of the main problems is you can't just grab a diet, then you have the religious folks saying, here's the biblical diet, or I don't even know, Israeli diet or whatever, And all these diets sound good. However, the idea is not to diet, in the sense of understanding that it's not about just dieting. It's about actually understanding why you eat and what it is you eat and why you eat those things, okay? So with that being said, one of the things I put in my book is understanding exactly that food is spiritual, because food does affect your soul, your mind, your emotions, but also affects your spirit as well. And knowing that, we realize that food within itself, and I want to sort of stress this with you guys today, food within itself actually has vibrations to it. Let's go back to 101. Like I said earlier, everything in the universe is vibrational. There is a push and a pull, and it deals with sowing and reaping, attraction, law of attraction, all this stuff. It's real things as far as science. And when it deals with the Bible, and we understand these things to realize that our bodies are frequencies. Our bodies have vibrational waves in them because we're energy slow down no matter. Now, with that being said, we realize what? That we're light. What was it I said last week? Jesus said he's the light, but also we're the light of the world. And with that being said, if you take light and bend it in the prism, you get all the different colors of the rainbow, which means that everything is colored. And because everything is different colors, red, orange, we even sing about it. Red, yellow, black, and white, they're precious in His sight, because all different colors of foods actually are things that are desperately needed for your body. That's why, like I said before, when you're a kid, your mom says, eat your greens. But one thing she forgot to tell you, because she didn't realize and didn't know, it's not just eat your greens, it's eat your greens, eat your reds, eat your purples, eat your oranges, because these colors that we found in the rainbow of covenant, or these colors actually are found all through creation in foods because of the fact your body needs to absorb the vibration of the colors. And this is mind-blowing, I know, but you have to remember that because we're vibrational people, when you think of things such as, aspartame and, different, fake sugars, for example, that cause cancer. I had a guy tell me last week, he said, cause cancer in rats. I'm like, right. And do you want to take the chance of causing it within the temple of God if it's killing rats? But we do know from medical fact, that actually aspartame and saccharin, all these different things actually do cause cancer because they're foreign objects. The key thing is not even the fact of the cancer, even though we know that is deadly. The thing is, it's fake. It's not real. It's not organic. It's not created by God. So when we drink, all these carbonated drinks and stuff, sugar-free, the worst thing for you. Let me tell you something. I'll be the first one to tell you, if you're going to go that route, you should eat sugar first before you even eat the aspartame, because your body cannot absorb fake elements. Your body does not know how to process it, so it stores up more fat, for one, and for another, you become hungrier. And so, sweet and low, exactly. They're probably the most deadliest things for you because your body, and some people might say, well, I don't want to gain weight. Let me tell you something. It's a proven medical fact that you gain more weight when you use things such as aspartame or sweet and low, saccharin, whatever you call them, because it's a foreign object. Your body can't absorb them properly. It doesn't know how to absorb them because it wasn't created to absorb. And because of that, your body says, I'm hungry, I want more. So you consume more throughout the day because of that. Folks, please don't suffer from lack of knowledge. Understand cancer, gaining weight. When they show you these little girls in these nice little bikinis on these Sweet and Low commercials, let me tell you something. It's not true. You're going to turn out huge because your body does not, but they won't tell you that because your body can't absorb it. Okay? So wise up today. Use wisdom. Wise up. And so with that being said, it's not colors that your body is absorbing, and it's low frequency because it has really not a frequency to it, really, in the sense of high frequencies, which are love, peace, joy, health, and because of grace. And because of that, your bodies can absorb it. And because your body can absorb it, your body's not getting the right colors it needs, the right vibrations it needs, and also it's storing up and it's causing your body to actually store up more fat. So through that, you're going to have to remember you're killing yourself. You're taking your risk as a Russian roulette, as I say, on not getting cancer, and you will absorb more in the sense of gain a lot more weight. All right, so wise up. So your body needs colors. So when we get organic foods like oranges, bananas, pineapples, I can't stand tomatoes, but we'll just go there. Tomatoes because it's red, bell pepper because it's green, in red. And you get, okra. You get corn. You get things that are actually organic, that are grown in the ground, that have the colors to them. Your body absorbs that because it also has a higher frequency, which means it'll raise your vibration. In the sense of literally, you'll find yourself saying, I'm just happier today. Like things don't bother me today. I'm not moody. I don't have mood swings, because of the fact that your body is eating what God created to eat. Let me explain this to you. Somebody asked me, in fact, I'm on my phone now. I can't use it. Did you guys know that I'm hoping, let's see here. If one of my team members are on here, I sent you some, hold on a minute. I sent you some Bible verses in Genesis the other day, if he knows what I'm talking about. And on one of those Bible verses, it's in Genesis, I think, chapter 30. If you don't mind, you or Pamela can actually put copy and paste that into the comment below. That would mean the world to me. But basically the scripture, I think it's in Genesis chapter 30. It might be 1 and 2, but what it says actually is, I'm doing this by memory. What it really means is that how can I say this? The scripture says, this is before the fall, by the way, but it says, hey, by the way, well, I'm making my paraphrase here. It does says, by the way, you, the animals and humans, you were created to eat the plants of the ground. So did you guys know, this is why I stress it so much. Now, for me, I try not to eat so much meat. I'm not really a big meat eater. So I try to do more, vegetarian if I can, or maybe do a little bit of fish, whatever, if I can help it. Grace, but here's the key thing is the book of Genesis in chapter 30 lets you know that you were never even created to eat meat. Did you know that? Read it for yourself. You were literally never even created to eat meat. Did you know that? And you might say, well, where should we get our protein from? Before the fall, and that scripture backs it up. Before the fall, did you know animals that actually were, coincided with humans, because humans have we have been given authority over animals, that humans and animals alike were eating plant food. Most people don't realize this if you can study it. Do you know after the fall is when man started eating meat? Did you know that? After the fall, you can read it. After the fall is when man was cursed to eat meat. But you were created to eat more plant life. That's biblical, Genesis chapter 30. So what that means for you is he's saying, hey, you can eat meat now. Like we see with Peter and the sheep being lowered down, hey, don't call clean what I've called unclean, type of thing. True. However, your body actually is harder to digest meat. And there's been several prophets recently, including myself, who God has really spoke to and said, look, body of Christ, you need to steer away from meats because the birds are falling from the sky. Do you know these prophecies are happening? That there's thousands of birds from the sky that are falling dead to the ground. And there's been a lot of prophets. I don't believe in the whole doom and gloom. I just don't believe in that. However, I do believe that we're coming into a place where, and some of these prophets even said that. The ones I trust, not the off-the-wall, really out there worshiping presidents, prophets, but those who really hear from the voice of God and not political stance. And that is that some of these real prophets have even said things such as, for season, don't eat animals, because there's a lot of toxicity, a lot of things happening, and so I was like, wow, that sort of backs up what I feel like God's told me years ago for myself. And so my point being with that is, try your best to avoid as many meats, but you have to remember that even meat within itself doesn't even have a high vibration. Did you know that? Meat within itself doesn't even carry a high vibration, because before the fall, you wouldn't even think about eating an animal. Before the fall, you'd be like, "Oh my God, I'm here to take care of them." Ooh, gross! How could I take care of animals? I mean, how could I eat an animal? But yet after the fall, the mind fell. The mind fell into this sort of Adamic nature, and so all of a sudden, God's like, "Okay, you're gonna eat meat as well." So when people say God said eat meat, I always say you're right, but He made it legal after the fall. What does that tell you? So my point being is that you got to know what is high vibrationally foods that we eat and low vibrations. And because of that, you also have to understand exactly the different colors of our fruits and vegetables, because things that are organic, your body needs. That's part of the covenant of that rainbow we talked about. Your body needs, orange, red foods, yellow foods, believe it or not. Of course, you have turmeric, which is a powerful thing as well. But, greens, your body needs these colors. And these colors, let me tell you what they do. These colors actually go into your, they're absorbed by your body. And these colors actually help bring your mood to a higher frequency as far as joy. Did you know that? If you do this, you'll find where you're happier more. Yeah, you're more joyful. You have less mood swings. You will sleep better. Did you guys know that even sleep, that the reason why a lot of people don't sleep as well, because they don't understand they're eating low vibrational foods? Did you know that? And once again, this is the biblical, medical, scientific facts. And so because you don't sleep good, it's because your body is not absorbing the colors or the prism of the light in which you are. Your body's not eating and absorbing the correct, proper colors that God wants you to eat, because your body is off balance. When people say, hey, so-and-so has a chemical imbalance, she's got to take this pill or that pill. Let me explain something to you. A lot of chronic diseases can easily be eradicated with dieting, eating organic foods, but also it can also help you get back on balance by eating colored foods, because they have higher vibration levels and your body has to absorb those colors. And so because of that, you have to remember that medication sometimes can be avoided in some certain situations, because of the fact you're learning the wisdom of God to absorb the foods that you need, right? And so it's very important you understand that. So because of that, we have to remember, if Jesus came to redeem us, we want to be able to get back into the redemption place of that garden of eating and start eating a little bit better in what we should be eating, right? And of course, it shouldn't take a rocket scientist to tell you, because I'm learning too, that is, stay away from fried foods, stay away from processed foods, stay away from boxed and canned foods, get into the organic if you can help it, and try your best to avoid as much red meat as you can. It's just not good for you. It's really not. And it's harder for your body to digest. And plus, meat carries with it a low vibration. And so that's why when people say, hey, and most people don't realize this. Did you know that's why when people say, oh, chicken and turkey sort of makes me sleepy and lethargic? That's why. Do research on it. That's why. Because of the fact you have to begin to, thank you for this. Actually, thank you so much for putting the scripture up here for me. And that's actually said, and let me read the scripture for you. It says, and to all the beasts of the earth and all the birds of the sky and the creatures that move along the ground, everything that has breath in it, give every green plant for food. There's your scripture right there. So when people brag about eating meat, oh, I can't, get away from bacon. Knowing a pig is smarter than a dog. So if every time you think of eating a pig, you think about it. You're eating your cat and your dog. And people are like, oh my God, never. Because a pig is actually smarter than a dog, but people don't realize that. And so that's just my little 2 cents, but that's true. So because of that, you have to realize, according to this verse, it's letting you know, before the fall, you were given and chosen to eat plant food, and so was every living creature on this planet. So through that, why? Because plants, vegetables, fruits, because they're colorful. They're colorful. It gives you just enough sweetness in some of the fruits that you need, which is the real sugar, and also gives you a lot more of the organic things found in plant-based foods, because of the fact it has a higher vibration to them. Did you guys know that? So the more you can eat that, the more that it's proven your high vibration, your vibrational body will raise up, and you'll find yourself happier and more joyful and whatever. That's why when you eat meat, you're like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm lethargic. Bingo. Come on. Because harder for your body to digest. You wasn't really created according to before the fall to actually eat that kind of stuff. And then third of all, your vibration's so low, so it's going to make you lethargic. Come on, guys. I'm telling you, it's all that's in me. Here's what I would recommend. My recommendation is this, okay? Get the book today. You need to read everything about color foods. I'm not going to do it here on the live, but I break it down as far as colors of foods and what they mean and why your body needs them. This is the most powerful book you'll ever hold in your life when it deals with dieting and food and everything else. And no, I'm not perfect in it, but I'm going to say this to you, exercise. Get organic foods in your body. Stay away from processed foods. Don't eat so many red meats and meats, period. Get into the plate. If you're going to eat meat, here's what I would recommend. Eat fish. I know shrimp's a little bit high in cholesterol, but with me, I eat a little bit more of the fish, because I sort of stay clear the best I can from, other animal eats. Plus, I'm a big animal rights person anyway. I happen to care for the animals that are getting tortured, beaten. That's my 2 cents. So just saying, if you want to be able to contribute to the universe and help animals, that's a good way to do it. All right. And maybe we can stop all this, horrible things that these plants and farms are doing to the poor animals. And so anyway, but with your body needs the colors. Your body needs to absorb the joy, the vibration of joy, the vibration of peace. Your body needs these things, okay? So it's very good for you. That's why God established that. So I'm going to say this to you. If you're recognizing Jeremy, I don't sleep that good at nighttime. I keep on gaining weight. I don't know what to do. My mood swings are crazy. Then this book is definitely for you. And then plus, here's the thing. I'm actually writing something else on health, and I want to share this with you guys. I've got 2 more books coming out, 2 or 3 coming out more on how to heal yourself, okay? How to take care of your body, and so you're going to begin to, and also creating a space for you. So I want to be able to recommend these books to you as they come out, because this is the first foundational book you need. All right? Even if you were, let's say, for example, if you didn't know this stuff, and you go to keto diet, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do keto things, stay away from carbs, and not eat bread and rice, everything else. Will you lose weight? Sure. But your mood swings will go crazy like a pendulum swing. And your sleep, your problems with sleeping will still be present, because it's not good on your body to, you do the keto, great. But here's the thing. You go into ketosis, true. But if you're not absorbing your body in the sense of the vitamins and minerals and nutrients it needs from the colored foods, from organic, then what happens is you will find yourself moody. You'll be thinner, but you'll be moody. Your body will be like, oh, I want to kill somebody, but yet your body will be thinner, right? So we don't want that. We want to be able to take care of the body-soul connection. And so what I would recommend to each one of you is first, number one, download this book today as a PDF file, or you can order the book, and we can ship it out to you as well, is Food Spiritual. And I break it down as far as the colors of the foods within the book to help you guys to understand what colors your body needs and why your body needs it. And I talk about the vibrations of them. So I would say get this first. Second of all, when we come out here in a couple months with, how to heal yourself, heal your body, you guys, I would definitely say then get that one. Then we're going to go into other things as far as how to be able to heal your mind, heal your body, from different things. And that is a big necessity for those of you who really want to take care of your body and also understand the power of the body-soul connection. All right. So I'm going to say, download it. I think we have the link on here already, Pamela. If you haven't already, if one of you guys could download or upload, the link to the PDF file and or the book for these people to get this book, it'll be great. Let me tell you a little bit about the book real quick before we close. Yes, so true, Rebecca. The reason why I wanted you to get these books is because I talk about forbidden fruits in a spiritual sense. I talk about the temple of God, what that really means. Most of you will be shocked when you really realize that. Also, laying aside the weight. I do discuss in here a little bit of weight and how to slowly start breaking it from eating organic, and also understand the different colors of your of foods. And then I go beyond the fads, the popular diets that are good. However, they're not healthy because if you don't know what your body is needing, you can lose weight, but yet your body can still be malnourished in the sense of not having the right colors and foods you need within your body, right? We don't want to do that. That's destructiveness upon your body. I talk about finding freedom with foods, the good life, with the Zoe kind of life. Talk about the mind and the temple, the body soul connection. We deal with awakening the mysteries of food. We deal with power for change and a colorful creation. Last but not least, the chapter is a colorful creation, okay? And so it's really important you guys know how to grasp this understanding, okay, of realizing this. So let me just say this really quick. Let me go to one of the chapters and sort of jumpstart you guys, because this book is what many of you guys have been asking me for so long, and it's finally here. Some of the things on a colorful creation, I deal with the vibration and the vibrational link of foods. We talk about how the foods that God made, what He called good. All right. We talk about things such as, in fact, let me just read this to you guys. Let me find a good one. You can read it. I've got some study guides coming out to some of these future books as well on foods. All right. So let me read some of this to you guys. Okay. We'll start with this. You see, the world never really stopped being good when man and woman tasted the so-called forbidden fruit. Nothing really changed, not really anything. The world itself didn't change. The other fruits and vegetables were changed. The forbidden fruit was tasted, and the rest of the trees didn't suddenly die, and the other plants began to wilter or wither away. Think about that. Why didn't they? Because of the fall. No, there were still, even then, so many other options and other choices. There were other trees to eat from. Food didn't change. It has how we view food that has changed, and we talk about that. That's why we see humans today, destroy foods, because when you overcook a food, it takes out the nutrients of it. Right? When you overcook food, it actually shifts the vibration of it as well. Do you know that? And so it's crazy, And then I say this for a moment in closing. Let's go back to the very beginning of it all. Let's journey back to what it must have been like in those moments following the expulsion from the garden paradise. I'm sure that in the first initial moments, it must have seemed like a death sentence. I can only imagine that as they left the garden, they thought to themselves, where do we go from here? And the Bible talks about also the fall of man having to till the ground. I'll explain to you what that means as well. It's very important to realize what happened before the fall, after the fall, and why now it's extremely crucial to realize stuff. And let me also just share this with you guys as well. You're also forgetting that, within chickens, I'll be careful, but I have people who, some of my family members who actually raise chickens. That's good. However, chickens are injected every day. Not only are the chickens abused and electrocuted to death, hung upside down, everything else, I'm just honest with you, you need the truth to set you free, but also they are injected from almost birth. They're injected with hormones so bad that their bodies grow so much faster that a lot of them, the little hearts can't take it, and their hearts even explode. So I'm just saying, folks, if you really only knew, so imagine your body is cooking this meat from an animal who's been highly abused, hormones all in it, and the vibration of fear that animal goes through a horrific destructiveness of murder. That's what it is murder. Your body absorbs fear. Hey, my friend Mary Branch will be the first one to tell you. I know you're just like, did you just say my name? Yes, because we'll be the first ones to tell you, your body will absorb that fear. Your body absorbs the actual torture that the animals go through as well. Did you know that? It's true. So that toxicity, that's why it's so important that when you're in fear in your body and you're worried in fear, your body automatically releases toxicities. It releases toxic poisons. Imagine that amped up 20 times with an animal that most people don't care about, that is abused, tortured, electrocuted, sliced, left dead, blah, 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 blah. But you need to hear this because it's factual and true. And knowing that fear, that worry, that horrific nightmare of a horror movie of fear that is releasing things in the meat, and your body is absorbing them. And most people say, well, I pray over my food. Doesn't matter. You cannot have a taste of knowledge, the Bible says, and run from it as if you don't have, as if you never tasted it. That's what the Bible says. It's like having a taste of the knowledge of Jesus, and yet you're saying, oh, maybe I don't want to learn anymore. But the Bible says once you've had a taste, you're accountable for that. And you have to remember that it's transferred into your body. When we deal with anointing and transference of anointing, did you know you're dealing with a spiritual anointing spiritual anointing being transferred to someone, but you're also dealing with an energy vibration that you're transferring. So when I lay hands on people, for example, the energy is literally meeting its energy, and it's interfering, it's actually intermingling with one another. And so you are a walking womb walking around. And so what you eat, you become. We've heard that before. The things that the animals ate before, you absorb. The lack of nutrition from things, being cooked, you don't get those. So you have to remember, you treat your body like a temple. Don't treat it and saying, well, I can't, I love bacon, I can't run from bacon. Well, the truth is you have to remember that you're also eating the horrific, horrible abuse of that animal as it goes in your body. So if you don't have a heart for animals and you're like, I don't want to hear it, and you're just you got a cold heart, great, fine, no big deal. That might be who you are. I'm just being honest. However, you can't neglect the fact that your body is absorbing the fear. So you will be faced with the torment of that poor animal. You will be faced with it because your body will absorb their toxicity and their fear-based horror they went through. So you might say, well, why I'm bringing all these things is because you have to know the power of transference. You have to know what's being transferred to you. You have to understand exactly what's organic. Your body, can absorb, can absorb, and can't absorb. You've got to know what God originally created for you to eat, to understand this. If you don't, your body is getting every type of injection that those poor animals are taking in. Can you imagine how all these hormones, how women's hormones, men's hormones go crazy with them? You know why? As humans, because of the fact we're absorbing and we're being impregnated by everything we eat. So that's why I'm saying, if you guys really want to know more about stuff, this right here will set you free. This book will set you free. It's been one of the biggest sellers recently, and it will help you to overcome this stuff, okay? So definitely get this. All right? I love every one of you. I know sometimes I get on my Facebook or my Instagram lives, and I'm sort of going a little rabbit trails, about this subject, but all these rabbit trails lead back to one thing. Learn to take care of your body. Learn to know what true dieting is. Learn to know that if we eat and absorb what God created us to absorb and eat, we would never have a weight problem. I'll give you a great example. My sister and I, my sister and I, my brother-in-law, and my nephew the other day were out to dinner at a nice restaurant. And one of the things that she had mentioned are things that I have talked about. And she said, do you notice here in America and also in Alabama, that we have a lot of obese people, a lot of obesity. And she's caught on to a lot of things I've caught on to, is understanding that because we're so not eating, and unfortunately the food industry, let me just say this to you as well, the food industry really doesn't care about you. Big pharma, medications, they really don't care about you. You have to understand, and I'm definitely not a conspiracy theorist person at all, but I'm just saying though, the food industry, they don't really care about you because they're here to make money. And we get it because we all need to make money. However, you have to remember that we can stop some of these big pharma, we can stop these big food corporations from their abusiveness of animals, their injections within animals, and I always encourage people to do this. Here's what I encourage people to do, is if we get back to what God originated for us to eat, we'll live longer, we'll have less health problems. Most chronic things, do you know that most chronic elements, the majority of them, not all, but majority of them can easily be eradicated by a healthier diet. Did you know that? So instead of saying, I'm just gonna take a pill from the doctor, first of all, look into it. If it's chronic, a lot of it, not all, but a lot of it can be eradicated. And so you want to be able to consider that the source. Do I want to stay in certain places may be lazy in my dieting of what I know, not everything, but what I know I can eradicate and take and maybe come slowly off my medication by eating better, losing weight, exercising, and eating what God wants me to. If you can do that, do it. It's your body needs the freedom, but you would feel so much peace in your mind, and everybody deserves that because our bodies are given us to take care of. And so my point being with the food industry is you have to remember the food industry packs everything with sugar. Every single item pretty much you get is going to be packed in sugar. So you want to be able to, to eat better. When people say this, here's the thing. When people say, I can't afford healthy food, sure you can. Sure you can. Because you can grow. You can grow tomatoes, you can grow okra, you can grow corn, you can grow, lima beans, you can grow, oh my gosh, bananas, you can grow oranges, you can grow apples. And when you do these things and you can get nuts for your protein and beans and protein, what happens is you're eating better for your body, but you'll never have to worry about losing weight again because your body will automatically align. This is the truth. Your body automatically aligns to the weight it's created to flow. When you think of, let's say, for example, metabolism, how our metabolism slows down, some of the reasons why our metabolism does slow down is because of unhealthy eating. Did you know that? It really is. From unhealthy eating and also from, our dieting is horrible. We're not absorbing the right colors of foods. We're not getting the intake we need in our body. And so you have to remember your body responds and reacts the only way it knows how. And a lot of times it reacts by even slowing metabolism and, absorbing fat and, causing diabetes, causing overweightness, causing, even your mind not to think properly. And, or maybe feeling lethargic. Oh, I don't rest good. I don't sleep good. always feel tired though. A lot of these can be eradicated by shifting our diets back to how God originated and created our bodies to eat. And just think, dieting would be a food of the past, would be a thing of the past. Imagine if all humanity got back to how we're supposed to eat before the fall. No one would ever have to diet again. You know why? Because no one would be overweight. No one would be malnourished. We would have exactly what our bodies need with all the healthy vitamins and minerals that it needs. We would have to take vitamin C every night I feel like I'm like a drug addict because I'm like, here's my vitamin for D and here's my vitamin for C, and I actually take 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C because it's so healthy for you. I take D. We have zinc. We have turmeric, we have ashwagandha, which is really good to help your mind. I take GABA, G-A-B-A, which I've recommended to many of you guys, which actually helps with the brain to calm it down and to think clearly because it actually affects the neurons in your brain. And all this is from the ground. Very healthy for you. Turmeric, very healthy for you. And so I'm like this pill popper of all my vitamins, And the reason why, because our bodies lack a lot of this. Do you know a lot of your bodies also lack magnesium? Do you know that? It's a number one fact that when it deals with what our bodies lack. And magnesium, almost every human on planet Earth actually lacks a lot of magnesium. What does magnesium do? It calms your nerves. It helps you even sleep better. But it literally calms your muscles. It speaks to that part of your body and that absorption of magnesium. It calms it down. It gives it what it needs. RLS, restless leg syndrome. Believe it or not, a healthier absorption of magnesium can also, help eradicate that as well. I know that from experience because I had a problem. So there's a lot of things that can be eradicated. And so my first response would be this, and this is the prophet / life coach talking. If you're on medication, continue to take it. But as you're taking your medication, here's the thing. You can pray things away you think you can, but what God is more important, what's more important to God is He loves action behind our faith. So instead of just praying, why don't you put action behind it and say, God, help me today to make the right decision. God, help me today maybe to learn to lose weight. Help me today to take care of my mind. Since there is a body-soul connection, because what my mind affects my body affects my mind. Help me, Lord, to eat less meat, less red meats. Help me, Lord, to absorb what you want me to. Help me, Lord, to eat what you originated for us to eat way before the fall, God, because that guarantees us that our bodies will live longer. And if you take care of your body will take care of you, right? So that's why, and plus, let me also say this to you guys as well. and I know I'm keeping you guys a little bit longer, but one of the things I've come to the realization on, one of the things that of course I'm going to say something a principle by Gandhi. So those of you that are real religious and you can't take anything but scripture, then you can sort of delete me right now. No problem. I don't have a problem with that because I believe truth is found. That God is the reward of those who diligently seek them. I believe truth or principles are as a principle, and it can be true. But Gandhi once said something that I sort of took inside of my mind, and that is, he said, you can always tell people by a nation basically because of how they treat their animals. And I've always understood that because if we become desensitized to treating animals we don't treat them with respect and the dignity they need to take care of them, and sort of just slaughter them and just horribly kill them, then it speaks a lot of your mind being desensitized of life in general and how life can be precious. And that's what Gandhi meant. And we can see that within Genesis chapter 30 of why God said, hey, after the fall, okay, fine, kill and eat the animals, make the sacrifices, you need to. But you have to remember, folks, that was never God's originally intent. Never was his intent from the beginning. What I want to do for me is I want to try to get my mind, my body back of how it's supposed to be a little bit more before the fall, you know what I mean? Before we sort of fail in consciousness within a sin nature. I want to sort of get back a little bit more because obviously there's something about that can help my body and help my soul as well. And I'm always seeking out for the best ways I possibly can, not always, but the best way I possibly can to take care of me and to maybe give an animal an extra life. So here's my recommendation for you today, all right? Here's what I would do. First of all, A, start eating organic foods. B, try to get back to organic-based foods when it deals with vegetables and nutrients and, beans and nuts and fruits and vegetables. You can't go wrong with these things, D, don't overcook anything. You overcook the nutrients out of it. I'm just making E. We'll say E. We'll go to A, B, and C, D, E, don't eat so many fried foods. Those of you, let me tell you this, what's so funny. Those of you who do not have a gallbladder, and I will tell you, most of you didn't realize this about me, but Jeremy does not have a gallbladder. Okay, I had it removed years ago. I didn't want to, but I had to. As the doctor said, you have an angry gallbladder. And if you've never had gallbladder pain, it hurts like a mother, okay? It hurts like hell. It really does. It is like the worst excruciating pain you could ever have. And, and you're like, get this thing out of me. But you know what I've learned since then, and I'm saying this to you guys because I want you to understand, that your gallbladder helps the food to break it down, right? So that's why if you eat, let's say, for example, fried foods or greasy foods, sometimes it'll go straight through you. I'm just being real with you guys. Why? Because it's letting you know that not only because you don't have a gallbladder, but if your body is if it's going through like that, imagine without a gallbladder, imagine how much your gallbladder has to overwork itself when you do eat greasy foods, when you do eat fried foods. So it is important that we begin to sort of think about this. So I would suggest this to you guys as well. Eat organic, yes. Try to eat less fried foods, yes. Try your best. If you can help it. I know some people, your will might not be strong and you're like, I don't care about how animals are tormented. I have to have my meat. Well, if that's you, fine, grace. Ugh. But anyway, that's my word for the day, ugh. But if that's you, if that's how you feel, hey, no problem, grace. However, I would say this, maybe cut back, maybe 2 days a week, maybe 3 days a week. I mean, it won't take you, it's not that hard for you to maybe just not eat meat completely for maybe 2 days a week. You still got 5 of the days you can eat all your meat you want to and kill the animals. That's fine. But I would say cut it back 2 days a week. Imagine if we all cut back 2 days a week. Imagine how many animals would live because of that. Imagine our bodies wouldn't have to work so hard to digest that meat, that tough meat. Imagine how your body, your mood swings would change. Imagine you're really gracing yourself, be honest with you. You're giving your body and your mind grace more when you do that. So that's what I would say. I would say personally cut back 2 days a week if you can help it. Get into a place, once again, eat more fruits and vegetables. Don't eat so many fried foods. And also learn to meditate. Learn to meditate with your exercising as well, because you have to exercise. And get into a place where you're exercising, but also you're meditating more on the power of calming your mind down and allow your body to talk to you. One of the things I found in myself is I have a connection with my body and my mind. But why? Because I should, because it's my body, my mind. With that being said, what I like to do is I like to try to be able to hear what my body is wanting and not what my flesh is wanting. My flesh can be like, I want a Mars candy bar because Jeremy loves candy, and Jeremy tries to avoid candy at all costs. And Jeremy but I try to listen and say, wait a minute, that's not my body. My body's not craving that. The addictive personality is craving that. The addiction of sugar and grease and oil and fried food. That's what my body's craving. That's what my addictions are craving, but my body's really not. So don't get confused with that. You are your body. You're not your addiction. How many just got that? You are your body. You're not your addiction. Those addictions were created by you. When we deal with co-creating with God, we create those addictions by getting into a habit. When people say, I can't stop smoking. Sure you can. You created the habit to smoke. You can desensitize, you can dethrone, dismantle the same addiction you built up to smoke. You can dismantle that as well. You can dismantle the greasy foods by the addiction you created as a co-creator or creator. You created that, so the same power that created the addiction is the same power that can dismantle your addiction, right? That's what we have to remember. We've got God on our side, folks. If God be with you, who can be against you? God wants you to eat what he wants, So we have to remember when we sit down to bless our food, we do it jokingly, but we'll say, Lord God, remove all the calories. Lord, remove anything harmful from this fried, fatty foods I'm about to consume. And God's like, ain't gonna happen. I can't bless something that is bad for you. Even the sheet that Peter, held down. Think about it. It didn't have fried foods on it. It didn't have Snickers and Joy, almond bars. It didn't have, fried food. It didn't have greasy food on it. Because I guarantee God would have been like, okay, now what I call unclean there, it needs to stay unclean. All right. So you have to remember, you have to take scripture into content. You have to understand that the sheet they had back there, they didn't have that kind of stuff. They didn't have Wesson oil, Crisco, and those horrible fake and cheap and fake oils, you get at Walmart or whatever, And, so that sheet didn't have that stuff on it. So don't fool yourself and say, but God said I can eat. No. God didn't say you could eat this, okay? God said you can eat. If you want to eat the meat from being unclean to clean now, then that's what he's making. He's liberating you in a lot of, and getting rid of the traditions that religion and humans had created at the time on the food. That's what he's talking about. He's not saying, yes, my son, you can eat that, you can eat that juicy lollipop. Oh, yes, son, you can eat that fried chicken that's covered in oil, and don't worry, your arteries won't be clogged. You have to take scripture into content. Okay, I love laughing at myself and laughing at these things because I've been there, guys. I've been there. So we have to begin to take a look at life. We have to begin to re-examine it. What is the Zoe kind of life? The Zoe kind of life is found before the fall. All right? That's what God called very good, is you. So don't allow what's very good. When God created humans on the sixth day, he called us very good. Not just good, but very good. Why? Because very good means I'm very good. And in order for me to stay and maintain my very goodness, I need to take care of what God considered very good. All right? You got that? So love every one of you. I'm so glad we can come together and just laugh and cut up, listen to my soapboxes and grace, but also hear these things. Sometimes if you're like me, if I hear these things, I'm like, wow, you're right. That does sound crazy for me to eat that kind of food. Wow, I never thought about that. Once we say things out loud, we hear us say things out loud as well, or the people, it makes more sense to us, does it not? So I love every one of you. Let's start this season. Let's start off right. Let's start this season off right by taking care of our bodies, all right? And once again, download the book, order the book, all right? I love every one of you. Have a blessed day. And our contest, our victory, our new lifestyle starts right now, all right? God bless every one of you.